coordinates come up. We've got a Soviet spy.
But there's a wrinkle.
They got our spy pilot with a head full of classified information. The Russians want their man back before he cracks. We want you to negotiate the swap.
I'm an insurance lawyer.
What is up, YouTubers? Welcome to another episode of my Race to the Oscars 2015 video series. And today I checked out Bridge of Spies. Bridge of Spies is actually in the top 5, not just the top 10 category for a lot of the research in films that I did that I feel could probably win Best Picture. This is classic Spielberg and Tom Hanks. Together they do great things. This relationship is similar to that of Scorsese and DiCaprio. This film is pretty stacked. You've got Tom Hanks. I think he's actually my favorite actor. He's won several Academy Awards. You have Mark Rylance as the other main character, Amy Ryan and Alan Alda. Alright, for the plot of the film, this film, the setting is during the Cold War. Tom Hanks is an American insurance lawyer, but he must defend a Soviet spy. The reason he has to defend the Soviet spy is because the US wants to demonstrate that they give everyone fair trial. Everyone kind of hates Tom because he's defending this traitor, but technically he's not a traitor. He didn't betray his country. We just see him as a traitor, America, I mean, because we're fighting the Soviets. So, there's the conflict as to whether he truly is a traitor or not. And eventually, the Soviets capture a couple Americans. So an exchange must be made eventually. How does this exchange go? You're going to have to watch the movie to find out. The title Bridge of Spies makes sense in the end. At the very end of the movie is when this title really just makes sense. You're like, oh, okay, I understand now. Bridge of Spies. But it's an ending that I will not ruin for you. Alright guys, this is the performance review portion of my video, and it scored 91% on Rotten Tomatoes. Very good score. It scored a 90% on Flickster. Same level pretty much, so the critics and the audience's views of this movie are pretty consistent. IMDb gave it a 7.9 out of 10. Very good score. And Metacritic gave it an 81%, which is also a very good score too. Honestly, all these scores across these different review channels are pretty much the same. If someone told me that it scored a 7.9 on IMDb, I would translate it over to a 91% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I would translate that over to an 81% on Metacritic. It's a solid film, and it pretty much achieved the same high score on all different media channels for ratings. So it's a really good film. Here's the certified fresh symbol because it surpassed the 70% limit, which by far. So yeah, that's my performance review. Alright, for my analysis of the movie, this movie is really good. It flows perfectly. The plot is solid. It has a good storyline. It's created well. It appeals to a very wide audience. Kids can watch it. It's rated PG-13, but I don't even know why it's rated PG-13 anyways. One thing I need to talk about too is I noticed, I've been noticing, and it's like a filter that Spielberg just uses. It's his classic signature filter on all his films, and it gives an adventure-y vibe. You could check it out in Jurassic Park, especially the new ones. It's kind of like a bright setting, or I'm not really sure. If someone could maybe shed some light on that, that would be great. But he does this, and it's his thing, just the same way Zack Snyder, uses kind of his own filter. It makes everything kind of look dark and grungy. Zack Snyder is the director of 300 and the new Superman, Batman vs. Superman. You could just instantly tell Zack Snyder directed this film because of the way the film looks. Martin Scorsese, he kind of has like a high contrast, You know, in his films, like Wolf of Wall Street, just looks a little different. The picture does, that is. But I'm starting to notice these things, and I'm probably going to make a video about it once I do a little more research. And yeah, so I like his filters, and it has an adventure vibe. So I enjoyed that. This film has a couple conflicts, not just one, which is what makes a great film. A great film doesn't just have one conflict. It has a couple conflicts. And one of the conflicts is that everyone hates him because he is defending this spy, and he's supposed to just do an alright job in defending him, but not that good of a job because he doesn't want, people don't want the spy to be free. They want the spy to suffer, and they want him to get tried and be guilty. His job as a lawyer conflicts with being an American, but what people don't realize is that being an American is equality, giving everybody a fair chance, and he's not really doing this if he doesn't do his best at defending the Soviet spy. Another conflict is that it doesn't kind of help. He ends up liking his client. He likes the guy. This doesn't help him in him being unbiased. He wants to do a good job. He's not doing it for the sake of just being a good lawyer or a good American through his perspective anymore. He is doing it because it's his friend at this point. Do I think that this movie has the potential to win Best Picture? My answer, no. I'm sorry. It's a great film, but there's a couple reasons why. One, I don't think it's controversial enough. It's just kind of like a retell of the Cold War, of a particular Cold War occurrence. It's kind of safe. It's emotional, but it's not that emotional. It doesn't make a person feel some type of way. Also, I don't know, I might be reaching here a little bit, but I think maybe Spielberg plays it a little safe. He just does his thing. It's all very standard, in my opinion, but it's good standard. It's good that it's standard because it was standard, it was a good film. It's by the book, but I don't think it's a crazy work of art. Usually the films that win are just kind of game changers in a way, or just really, really make a person think, and it just kind of stays with them for a really long time, or they're very controversial, all the above. But it's a great film, top 5 maybe. Steven's best work? I don't think so. Will it win? I don't think it will win, but that's all I really have to say. Thank you for watching this episode of my Race to the Oscars 2016 video series for Best Picture, and I'm going to be reviewing the other 8, I now have 2 down, the other 8 films in my list for top 10 movies which I feel could win Best Picture. I'm going to be cranking them out, a couple a week, a lot higher frequency. I'm not as busy. So check them out, and subscribe, like it, like this video, or comment down below, let me know what you think. And this has been Condition signing out.